Hey everybody, welcome. I came to the beach today to do a little bit of grounding, and I did a video on grounding. It's posted somewhere, and I was doing some journaling and some writing, and I came up with something that I wanted to share. This is going to be called Breakup and Breakthrough, and I created an 8-episode series of soul reclamation. And it's not about moving on, but about moving into yourself just deeper. And I want to start at a place where it all cracked open for me. At one moment when I realized he wasn't choosing me. Not fully, not completely. There were many of these patterns that I was repeating without being aware that it was an actual pattern. You don't know because you're in it. Mine was choosing emotionally unavailable partners. And my mirror has been that I was emotionally unavailable. Talk about mind-blowing experience when that actually came to light. Running after the same thing that you want, but you can't receive it. Oh, man. So I'll briefly dive into my karmic soulmate, just briefly because it plays part as well. And, that's a whole other story that I'm not afraid to share. But even though I had been sensing it intuitively and emotionally, I was still hoping and still clinging and still believing that if my situationship loved me, if I loved well enough, loved him well enough, then he would hold space long enough with me. If I healed deep enough, maybe he would just still choose me. And I just kept trying to understand and wanting to help, and all of that became him running from the love that I was trying to give him, that he initiated in the first place. And as I reciprocated, it made him uncomfortable, and he ran away multiple times. So going through that process, I had to understand that he didn't choose me because of his own trauma, and it broke something open in me that I had to sit with. The ache of not being wanted the way that you wanted it to be. I had to sit with the silence and the absence and the delay. It's like, it was difficult. And it was less to do about him. It was my own inner learning. So we were both expressing our fears. And everybody does that, but that's why we run instead of facing it, because it makes us uncomfortable. So, I had to sit with the avoidance of clarity, and I didn't want to make him the villain because he wasn't, and I knew where he was coming from. But what I realized was I made him a gatekeeper to my own worth. I'm back. I had to get some water. I only have one hand, I needed two to take the lid off. So, in that moment, as painful as it was, that was the beginning of everything for me. And that's where I stopped asking, well, why didn't he want me? Because what does that do to my own self-worth? It puts me down at a really, really low point because there's nothing wrong with me. And I started to ask myself, why have I been waiting to be chosen? You know, that's what this series is about. Not just healing from a breakup or a situationship, but breaking the pattern of outsourcing our value to someone else's decision. You know, you make yourself feel bad. Like my situationship off and on for 18 months did that shit to me, and it was also really toxic. And I became the villain because I spoke my truth. In the healthy love situation, I did that exact same back to him. My situationship did to me, but there was no toxicity. You know, we built a foundation, but I didn't know that I was repeating a pattern that I finally realized I was doing. And that's the exact moment I realized that I was actually in love with somebody that I'd spend the rest of my life with. I didn't know that we'd be happy because we built a foundation, and I've never done that in a relationship before. I know you need one, and we talk about it, and we talked about it a lot because we know that if we told each other that we agreed in building a foundation, and it was just so easy that I overlooked it. I just overlooked it. He also had a lesson to learn. He had to learn how to speak up for himself and his feelings, wants, and his needs. He told me today, this is on both parts, my own insecurities and some issues I failed to raise with you when they arose. And that's bravery. He stepped up and he admitted he played a role, and my situationship and my ex-husband can never do that shit. You know, admitting you're wrong is sexy, but repairing the truth is key. You know, and coming back into repairing what you guys both now understand you did wrong, because there's still love there. But he was willing to be chosen, and deep down we know this truth. Sometimes not being chosen is divine intervention. Sometimes the door closes because your soul is asking for more.